Today, in our ongoing series of videos about district leadership and roles beyond the club, we're going to interview Randy Moore, District 86 Finance Manager. The Finance Manager is an important role in the district because they make sure that we are submitting financial documents to Toastmasters International on time and help us develop the budget annually. Please join me in interviewing Randy Moore, District 86 2023-2024 Finance Manager.
Well, the Finance Manager is essentially two roles that you'd see in the accounting function, kind of like the bookkeeper for the district, but on top of the bookkeeper, you're also the Finance Manager. So you do the whole echelon of what it takes to do in a regular accounting position. You have to enter in the data, you have to make sure you do the bank reconciliations every month for the district, and then on top of that though, you put a budget together with the executive team, and then you monitor the budget to the actuals on a monthly basis with the district executive, and you report back to the district director. What I wish I knew before I started the role was the two software programs I use the most. One being Concur and how to approve expenses. The other one would be Sage Intacct, which is the program that we do the day-to-day bookkeeping for the district. I wish I would have known those two programs sooner. I quite enjoy the Finance Manager role. For myself, I'm in the accounting world, so it's not a very hard role for me. Anyone who has any kind of finance background, especially bookkeeping or accounting, a controller, would have no problem doing the Finance Manager role because it's so similar. And because of that, it's a nice easy role to do in the district. It's not nearly as hard as some of the other roles. The Finance Manager doesn't really have a team. Instead of having a team, we're part of a team. We're part of the district executive committee, and there's not really that much work that you would need second help. Other than the fact that there is a finance chair for the conference, one could argue that would be a helper. That's an easy question to answer. It'd be the treasurer position. You definitely want to have the treasurer position before doing the Finance Manager position. You'd learn about Toastmasters and how that works. And that, of course, helps the budgeting process. It also helps to be a club office trainer and treasurer. If you have an idea of how district finances work and how Toastmasters International thinks, it definitely would help for the Finance Manager role. Most of the work is done at the beginning of the term in the fact that you have to put a budget together. So there is some work involved putting the budget together. After that, it's more maintenance, making sure that all the revenues and expenses are inputted into this accounting software system. So as far as goals would be just to make sure that we have our 4 reports in on time. There's a quarterly reports that have to be sent to Toastmasters International, have them done in time. You want to make sure that the budget is sent in time and that it's approved by the district. Other than that, it's mostly a maintenance job. A successful finance manager typically has their reports in on time, and I like to consider the finance manager, any role I take, I like to educate others. So I like to educate those in the district executive committee how finances work. Someone who would teach other people how the budget works, how their expenditures have an impact on Toastmasters district, and someone who educates someone. Other than that, mostly just getting my reports in on time. Anyone who has a year or two of bookkeeping experience would be excellent at Finance Manager. The bulk of what I do as Finance Manager is bookkeeping, so that is very important. It's also, like I mentioned earlier, it's important to have budgeting experience. Anyone who does budgeting would be able to slide right in well at the Finance Manager position. What advice would I give to a future Finance Manager? I would say 2 months before you start, it would be, or a month, at least a month before, you want to sit down with the previous Finance Manager and have them show you the 2 accounting software programs, Concur and Sage Intacct, and see how the program works. When I finished my previous term as Finance Manager, I made sure to meet with the future Finance Manager to make sure that she was able to have a feel of what the programs look like. So that way she wasn't going in completely blank. For that question, I would answer, you don't have to have a CPA. You could easily be a bookkeeper and do this job very well. That helps a lot. If you don't have that, having an accounting class or course in your background, maybe if you were in college and take an accounting course, would help. If you didn't have that, you might want to definitely do the treasurer role once or twice, and you want to make sure that you have some accounting background of how accounting works.